Welcome to this edition of Weekly Insight. I'm Nate Bunty. I'm a certified insurance counselor, and this newsletter is designed to provide insightful information to folks about insurance as well as other business and just life topics. Today, we're going to talk about what does an insurance agent actually do? I go back to the scene from The Office. What is it that you'd say you do here, right? And in that scene, actually, one of the funnier ones, the guy with the glasses, Thomas Mikowski, I believe his name is. He really struggles. He's like, I take the customer's requests to the engineers, and they say, well, could the engineers talk to the customers? He's like, engineers can't talk to the customers. I have people skills. What's wrong with you people? That sort of thing. So he had a hard time justifying his sort of middleman existence. And make no mistake, I'm not under any sort of like false impressions. An insurance agent is a middleman between an insurance consumer and the carrier that provides the product. We provide a buffer between those two entities, those two parts of the deal. And I think that there is a valuable role for the insurance agent as an arbiter to a certain extent, or an advisor to the consumer, and an advocate for the carrier. And this is a position that, in all honesty, a lot of very large carriers and some tech companies have been trying to eliminate this buffer. They've been trying to go direct to consumer in the United States, get rid of the agents. Progressive is a great example. Progressive sells a lot of insurance through agents, but they also have a direct company. And the last time I heard the Progressive CEO speak was actually in Cleveland, where Progressive's based. And I believe she said that their book of business from the agents is outperforming their direct book of business. Esurance was a thing. It was founded in 1999, direct to consumer home and auto insurance. Allstate bought them because Allstate thought that direct to consumer was going to be the wave of the future. This is in 2010, I believe. In 2019, they shuttered the product essentially. They mothballed Esurance. And in 2023, they stopped writing new policies, and eventually it'll go away entirely. A lot of independent insurance agents freaked out when Google got into the business. They actually created sort of like a comparative rater, which is a tool that a lot of insurance agents, independent insurance agents, use to find the rates of multiple different companies for one client. And I don't remember exactly when this was. This is about a decade ago, maybe a little less than that, maybe 2016, 2017. Google got into the business. They created this quote, bind, and issue platform on their website, and it failed. They eliminated their investment in that product within 2 years. I believe they had totally gotten rid of it. So time and again, the insurance consumer has, at least in the United States, has proven that they value what agents do. They value that buffer between themselves and the carrier. And there are a couple of different types of buffers, essentially. There's a couple of different types of agent. And one would be probably the least sophisticated, in my opinion, would be like the call center agent. When you call Geico or you call Progressive Direct, or you call one of those, an 800 number, essentially, to talk to the carrier directly, you're going to talk to a licensed insurance professional who can sell you an insurance policy, but they're not going to be able to tell you anything about the market that's not offered by that company. And although an agent's fiduciary duty is always to the carrier, even independent agents who have a fiduciary duty to represent the carrier, they're not going to be able to advise in any sort of impartial way the consumer that calls them. Closely related to the call center agent is going to be the captive agent. Captive agent is going to be like your farmer's agent, your State Farm agent, your Allstate agent. Those guys have offices in local communities, and they have nice little local businesses. But similar to the call center agent, they are not going to be able to offer anything that State Farm, Allstate, Farmers doesn't do. I have another post on my website about sinkhole insurance. And so let's just say, and this is just conjecture, I have no idea if this is actually true. If State Farm does not offer sinkhole insurance, and they might, but if they don't, a State Farm agent is likely to say, you can't buy that. Because a lot of State Farm agents, Allstate agents, farmers agents, they live in a bubble, an insurance bubble created by that carrier, where what that carrier is doing is the market norm. And that is not true. A lot of carriers have widely different appetites, and you can insure just about anything. I know one of the funny things, I believe it was Jennifer Lopez insured her butt. You know what I mean? Like, because it brought, that cake brought in the bread. And if she didn't, she lost it somehow. I'm not sure how you lose your ass, but if she lost it, she would, suffer severe economic consequences. So she bought an insurance policy on it. That's what an insurance agent or independent insurance agent, insurance broker can do. We represent a wide variety of insurance appetites on the carrier side, so that the risk needs being presented to us by the insurance consumer, can find the best match. And call center agents, captive agents, they can't do that. They can do a great job representing their company, and a lot of them do, but they're limited. They're in one lane. They have a very narrow focus. So when you talk to an independent agent, they're going to ask you a lot more questions. They're going to get to, know you a little bit better. We're not going to try and fit you into a certain box, because we have multiple carriers that we represent as independent agents. We do a lot of the work, we do a lot of the work for you rather than having to call a lot of different companies. You could generally get the best rate you're going to get from one truly independent agent. And in my career, I say that I'm fiercely independent. There are some independent agents who play favorites with carriers, who direct their business, the consumers that come to them, to a carrier that's their favorite. I don't really have favorites. I believe firmly, and I'm not the only independent agent that's like this, but I believe firmly that if I do what's best for the client, regardless, put them with the carrier that I think is going to be the best fit for them, whether it's my top carrier or a mid-level carrier. All the carriers I represent are great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a redheaded stepchild carrier. I like them all. And by placing, a business with the A carrier, because that's the one that makes the most sense, then taking care of the client's going to take care of me and my business. So I hope this video gave you a better idea of what a insurance agent does. We shop the market for you. We make sure that you're getting the right policy. And we keep track of what's going on in the market. I mean, insurance is a complex product, and we sort of stay on top of that and know what's happening. The current market's pretty hard. Why that's occurring? Why is your rates going up? Checking to see, because we have a suite of carriers, we may be able to find a better rate for you, or year in and year out, and you don't even really have to call all the carriers. If you have Allstate, for example, and you're like, well, I need to know what State Farm's got, you got to call State Farm and go through their whole process. So with us, when you get together with an independent agent, it's generally a long-term relationship, making sure that you have the best rates and terms for your needs as they change too. Because let's say, again, I'm going to go back to the sinkhole thing. Let's say that you have State Farm, and I don't know if this is true or not, but State Farm doesn't insure sinkholes, and you move to a place that has more limestone in the soil. You might want sinkhole insurance. Well, if State Farm doesn't have it, again, they're likely to tell you it doesn't exist when it is possible to get. So, like I said, hopefully this gives you a better idea what exactly it is that we're doing here. That we have already survived a lot of onslaughts. There are some other companies, I see advertisements for small business insurance that you can buy directly from, like Warren Buffett and stuff like that. That has worked in other countries. I think Great Britain is an example of that, but it is not has not taken hold or deep roots in the United States yet. So, and I think with the complexity of insurance, with the complexity of our legal environment, if you think every jurisdiction is, handles things a little bit differently, our country is, I don't know, X number of times the size of those European countries. Our whole country is about the size of Europe. You know what I mean? So I just don't see that becoming the majority of insurance business, even in home auto, life, and small commercial. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you found this insightful. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do next week, but my next video is going to be a subscriber exclusive. It's only going to be available to subscribers, and I'm going to say, give my opinion. Is Erie Insurance a good insurance company? Thanks. Talk to you soon.